Thank you so much for joining us here at the Dwellynn Show. I'm your host, Oladantes. I'm here with the awesome Bernard Reisz. I cannot wait to jump in with you this morning. Hey, Bernard.
Hey, Ola, good morning. I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited about all the great discussions we had leading up to this episode. Let's do this. I'm looking forward.
Yeah, sure. So let's jump right into it. So obviously you're a CPA, you help with 401ks, you do a bunch of stuff. And obviously we've been talking for some time now, but can you just tell our Dwell listeners a little bit about you and kind of what you've been up to lately?
Yes, I am a CPA, but I've also hold lots of other financial licenses. So be it insurance, investments, whatever it is, I've got my hand in it. And my philosophy is that unless you're really knowledgeable about everything, you know nothing, because everything is integrated. Everything has got to come together as one. And if you notice in the financial world, as I notice as a CPA doing a range of different things, either in due diligence, tax advisory, everybody comes to the table with their unique perspective. The folks that everybody's kind of biased towards whatever tool, product, or thing that they sell. Everything's got its pros and cons, but there's no way to really arrive at the optimal solution unless you're educated about them all. So that's what I'm about, delivering optimal solutions, integrated expertise, and most of all, putting people's interests first and trying to say, hey, based on what you're doing, your financial profile, your objectives, your goals, this is a tool that's going to be best for you.
So talking about tools, the variety, right? So let's kind of make it pragmatic. So there are a lot of people saying, I want to get into real estate, but I don't know how to get started. Or you have a room full of investors and they're listening to a speaker talking about how they can invest in their deals. And the people sitting might be thinking, well, I don't have money. I don't have any money to give to you. But they do have money, right? Because for most Americans, having a day job, have a 401k, which many experts have argued that this is one of the not so great tools for investing. And your company helps to turn that money into real estate investing, if obviously the investor wants to do that. So can you just give us a variety of ways in which folks that have a 9-to-5 job are thinking of doing real estate? Maybe they don't have the time as much, but they have the 401k, a substantial 401k to help them get started. What's that process look like, and what are the different tools that can help them?
Yeah, the thing to notice, to be aware of, is that 401k and investments are two separate things that go hand in hand. So 401k is just a section of the tax code. IRAs, 401ks, defined benefit plans, QRPs. These are just vehicles that are created by the tax code that enable people to invest in a tax-advantaged way. You can invest tax-free, tax-sheltered, tax-deferred. But it's more like an envelope. But you got to put the investments inside there. So the question is, what kind of investment are you putting into that vehicle? So for most people, it's mutual funds of some sort. But of course, you can do real estate. You can do just about any investment that you like. And when people say that 401ks have been poor vehicles for Americans, or IRAs, what they're referring to is the fact that the investment options that they're being given are just poor investment options, riddled with fees, hidden fees that they see. And even the fees that they do see are often just the tip of the iceberg. The overwhelming majority of fees are fees that they do not see. So Americans have done poorly with these accounts because the investment options that they're being given are just don't do well for them. And they're under the false impression that accounts that they have to be controlled by a financial advisor, have to be controlled by somebody else. And we're all about giving the control back to the investor, setting up IRAs and 401ks in which they can choose the asset class that they want. And the most popular asset class has consistently been real estate.
Wow. I mean, obviously that's not a shocker, right? But I really love what you said about, the 401k not so much being an investment vehicle as such. Is more of a tax code, but of course you can be given a portfolio of investments that are just frankly poor, right? And obviously real estate has been, one of the most, strong asset class in creating wealth in America, and it has been for a long time. So if I'm a Dwell listener listening on our conversation and I'm like, hey, I've got 100,000 or 50,000 that I would like to invest in a real estate syndication, with a syndicator like myself or somebody else, what do they have to do? And I also want to get to KRPs, so, but what is the first step that an investor can do to get that process started?
So the first step is you got to reach out to a company like mine that focuses on giving investors control of their money. Because if you go to your 401k financial advisor, your local advisor, if you try to say, I want to do real estate in my 401k or real estate in an IRA, they're going to throw up all sorts of roadblocks. We have to deal with this on a daily basis. People go into their financial advisor saying, I want to do real estate. They're like, no, that's illegal. You're going to go to jail. If you put your IRA into real estate, you're going to go to jail. There can be nothing further from the truth. The tax code says very little about what an IRA, QRP, 401k can be invested in. It just talks about the tax structure, very little about what you can invest in. And that makes sense. The IRS is not out there to try to favor your financial advisor and mutual funds over real estate. Why would they do that? They want to set up the tax incentives for you to choose the best investments and grow your savings to the greatest possible. Now, I don't fault the financial advisors really, because frankly, again, it's all about incentives and in the incentives of the companies that they work for. Financial advisors are not taught these things, right? I happen to hold a securities license, so I know. I've got the license, and I've been recruited by these companies. They're very excited. A CPA that's got an insurance license and securities, exams. They love that. So I've kind of played along with them, and I've seen what the recruitment process is. All it is, okay, you take this exam, which tells you very little about practical investing. It's about regulations, all sorts of inane stuff. And then they're like, okay, if you want to join us, here's how it really goes. This is going to blow you away. You make a list, a spreadsheet of all the folks that you know, all your friends and family, their email addresses, their estimated annual income, their marital status, the number of kids. You put that in a spreadsheet, and then here's a phone. You call them, and you just sell them whatever you can. There's very little education. It's really just a sales role. And they're educated about the products, whichever company they work for. And they're incentivized to sell those products. So nobody's ever taught them about putting an IRA into real estate because there's no way for them to monetize that. If they're Edward Jones or Schwab or Fidelity, whoever it may be, if it's not on their investment platform, there's no commission to be earned by the financial advisor, and there's nothing to be earned by the company that's behind him. So they're gonna, even if they're not aware of it, they're gonna tell you it's illegal. But even worse, if they are aware of it, they're still never gonna tell you about it. When was the last time somebody went into a financial advisor and said, I'd like to plan for my future, and the financial advisor said, you know what? I know a great guy, Ola Dantis. He's got great real estate syndications. You get passive cash flow. You can get income passively in a tax-advantaged way. Put your money by Ola. Has that ever happened to you, Ola?
Not yet. I'm waiting for that day, though. Not yet. Oh, man, that's fascinating. So what is this QRP about, right? I've been trying to, I saw on your site. I was reading a little bit about it. Can you just allow Dwell listeners a little bit more about QRPs?
Yeah, I'm very happy to answer that question because there's been an incredible amount of confusion about QRP. So QRP is like this mysterious term. It's got this mystique associated with it. But for those of us that are knowledgeable, there's nothing new about a QRP. QRP stands for Qualified Retirement Plan. And those are a group of tax-advantaged retirement plans that are governed by sections 401 to 416 of the tax code. If you want to get super technical. Now, many types of plans are qualified retirement plans. 401ks are a type of qualified retirement plan, as are profit sharing plans, as are defined benefit plans, as are cash balance plans. So there are many types of tax sheltered retirement accounts that are QRPs. And QRPs are distinct from IRAs. So IRAs are actually governed by 408 and 408A of the tax code, as opposed to QRPs, which are governed by other sections. In a practical way, an IRA is about an individual retirement arrangement. That's what IRA stands for. And everybody in America can have an IRA. To have a QRP, you have to have a business of some sort. A qualified retirement plan, such as a 401k or profit sharing, has to be tied to a business. Now, a QRP does have certain advantages for real estate investing vis-a-vis IRAs, but not everybody qualifies for that. So part of our service is that we offer both IRAs that can invest in real estate and QRPs. And part of the services, we'll make sure to get you into the right plan. What we've seen is that people that are working with providers that do only IRAs or have a heavy focus on IRAs, or providers that do only QRPs, and are getting into the wrong plan. So when we talk about, our favorite punching bag is Wall Street, but it's really about human nature. And everybody kind of does what they're incentivized to do. So if you're going to be working with somebody, even in the alternative space, but they do QRPs, then they're going to do whatever they can to get you into a QRP because they don't do IRAs. But if the QRP is a good fit for you, that's the way to go. But if it's not the best fit for you, it is not, I can't state this emphatically enough. It's not the way to go. You've got to qualify for it. And you want to be working with somebody that's going to be giving you objective guidance as to whether or not you qualify for it. Because the best plan for everybody, for a certain individual, is going to be the best plan for them. That's really what it boils down to. And that's what we're about. It's about trying to say, hey, what's your profile? What's going to be the best fit for you? Let's get you into the structure that's best matched from a compliance perspective, from an investment perspective, from a tax perspective, the structure that's going to work best for you. So you don't get any surprises a couple years down the line if the IRS says, oh, you got a QRP, but you don't qualify. Okay, you're going to hit you with taxes and penalties.
Gotcha. So let's kind of follow the process. So I have a 401k, with Fidelity with my company, and I work 9 to 5. I've amassed, a really good decent amount of money. Now I say, hey, I'm getting a little bit older, and I want to think of, start putting my money into real estate. So I reach out to you, Bernard, your company, Reisz Financial, and you help me, kind of move that capital from Fidelity into your platform. Kind of walk us a little bit through as to what happens after that. So I'm assuming, I get my current company to keep transferring money to that account with you guys, and then I basically self-administer or essentially direct the real estate investments from your platform to whoever my syndicator or my investor is. So just help us with that process.
Yes. So we actually go beyond kind of letting our clients administer through our platform. You get the money in a bank account and you control it. That's the ultimate flexibility. So there is no platform. And the great thing about not having a platform, so to speak, in traditional sense, is we know when working with lots of syndicators, and they're working with companies that, the self-directed company controls the money. It takes time and a crazy amount of paperwork to get the money into their deal. And if we have to administer it, you got to think about this. We're not going to have a 1-to-1 ratio of service personnel to clients, right? So we're not going to, for every person that comes on board, we're not going to say, okay, we're having a designated person that's going to work just for you. And whenever you need the deal funded, whatever, 24/7, you just let them know and they're going to sign the paperwork and send the money out that minute. We're not going to do that. And no company that controls assets has that. I don't know exactly what the ratio is, but I can say from talking to clients of ours that it's not favorable. So when you've got a deal and the money's on a platform, you got to send them paperwork. You got to wait for them to process it. And then if somehow you didn't cross one of those T's or dot one of those I's, they kick it back to you. And there's a lot of paperwork for them to get the money out. So what we're all about is actually creating that 1-to-1 ratio, or even going beyond that. We put the money in your bank account and you sign the paperwork, and then it happens speedily, efficiently, total control. That's our objective. But now that's the process to get there. So the first thing we're going to do comes back to what we spoke about. We get an application, and we created an application that's, so to speak, non-specific. You don't have to specify in the application if you're going to do an IRA or a QRP, because we don't know yet which route is going to be optimal for you. Once we get that application, we'll have a discussion to try to figure out, okay, which one is going to be the best fit for you. And frankly, if we can get anybody into a QRP, that's what we're going to do. And we're going to try to structure things so that people can qualify for the QRP. So there are a couple of basic questions that we're going to be exploring to know whether or not they qualify for a QRP. Once we determine which route is best for them, then we'll get on into the formation. The formation is setting up the plan. That's step one, getting the plan into place. Once the new plan and the new structure is in place, then we can have your old custodian, the prior custodian, move the money over as a tax-free rollover to your new structure. And your new structure is the money's actually going to go into a bank account, but it's going to be a bank account that's under the rubric of IRA or QRP. So it's all tax-free. Once the money is in the bank account, you invest. I mean, it's as easy as that.
Wow, fantastic. So it's almost like you guys actually trust the owners of the money with their money, right? As opposed to the older custodians. I really love that. I think we can keep going on. There's just so many questions to ask, but we're definitely dwelling into the quick round. These are going to be quick questions, quick answers. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right. First question. What makes you, Bernard, unique? What is that differentiating factor that separates you or your business from the next guy or the next girl?
Two things. Integrated expertise, tax, legal, investing. We're involved personally in all these areas, and we have expertise in all these areas. So are in a position to give you objective insight. And secondly, we're committed to giving you that objective approach. We're committed to getting you into the structure that's best for you, rather than selling you a plan, even if it's not best for you. And frankly, this happens all the time. People will call us, we'll speak to them, and we may say, hey, this is not a great fit for you. So we're not looking to get people into things that don't fit them. We're looking to get people into things that are best for them based on their goals and their financial profile.
Fantastic. Second question. What was the last book that you read, and what was the one thing you picked out from that book?
Okay, a great book, and let's look up the authors right now. When Genius Failed. What that book is about, it's about some of the smartest folks in the world in the financial space. They started a hedge fund, and there were trillions of dollars riding on that hedge fund. This goes back to the 90s. And really, was run by Nobel Prize winners in economics, finance, brilliant people, truly brilliant people. And nothing in that book, or what we're going to say, detracts from the fact that they are brilliant people. But ultimately, it ended in spectacular failure. And the message of that book is, you want to, put money in places that you control, where there's transparency, things that you can understand. Because whoever you give the money to, if you can't understand it, if you don't have transparency, there isn't a measure of control. There are risks that you're taking that you're not aware of. And it's always better to pay the fees that you see and know, take the risks that you see and know, than have risk and cost that you're not aware of, because who knows what those are. There are things that you can control, and what you can control, what you're aware of. You cannot control what you're not aware of. And that holds true in the investment space. We were talking about some of this before. due diligence, transparency. You really can't, you got to know what you're doing. And I think more so in the legal tax space, which is a pure abstraction. You know, with a property, with an investment, people sometimes get a little lazy and they don't fly down to see the property. They don't say, hey, can I see your projections, your pro formas? Can I see the rent roll? They just trust. And usually it works out. But what it doesn't, the price that you pay is spectacular. But when it comes to legal tax structures, it's an abstraction. You can't fly down and see it. So you really have to make sure that you're working with somebody who's got the background to implement what they say they can, and has the commitment to put you in the right structure. Because it's so much harder to due diligence something that's an abstraction, something that's a legal or tax structure, than it is to due diligence a hard asset.
Correct. So you're helping folks, with taxes, with, 401ks. You're doing a ton of this. You're obviously spending time with your family. You're running your business. You've got a lot going on. What do you do for fun?
It's all those things, Ola. It's the business. It's the family. For those of us out, that are entrepreneurs and have started our own businesses, it has its unique challenges, but ultimately it's something that you enjoy. It enables you to have a little more flexibility sometimes to spend time with family and the business. The distinctions between those two tend to blur. So when you've got your own business, you're on 24/7, but you're able to enjoy it all.
Absolutely. I can so relate. So I have some listenership, pretty concentrated in New York, actually. So if there's somebody thinking, wow, I like this Bernard guy, like I need someone that can help me with my, my taxes and help me with my real estate investments, or maybe it's obviously someone across the country, what is the best place folks can reach out to you, get connected with you, work with you?
Best place to go is 401kcheckbook.com. That's 401kcheckbook.com. No spaces, no dashes, no hyphens, just 401kcheckbook.com. And frankly, we work with clients all over the country. Our business model is dedicated to working remotely. We provide unique solutions that most people you can't find locally. So of course, we work with people that are local, but we probably have more clients in California than we do in New York. So we've got folks all over the country, even outside the country. We try to be efficient. So we are paperless. We never want to print a piece of paper. We don't want you ever to have to print too much paper. It's all using technology, and that's what we're about. And we'd love to work people and assist people with their IRAs, 401ks, getting their business structure set up. That's another area where we find people are getting lots of misinformation. We're dealing with lots of folks that are getting their Nevada structure set up, their Delaware, their Wyoming, their Texas, Alaska. We do all those things, but we don't promote things based on things that aren't true. If you've got real estate in Texas, or New York, you're not saving any taxes by having a Nevada LLC. It's true that Nevada's got no, the income tax law in Nevada is favorable, but you're paying taxes where your property is, and if you're not paying taxes where your property is, you're going to be paying in the state that you live in. So if you're in New York and you've got a property in Texas, a Nevada LLC is just costing you more money. It's not saving you. Nevada LLCs are actually relatively expensive. So every state, there are 51 domiciles, 51 states where you can set up LLCs. And every state's got its pros and cons, but more often than not, you're not going to be well served by having an LLC in some state that you've got nothing to do with. So yes, we've got people that have S corporations where they're not justified, C corporations are not justified. So if people want objective advice about how to structure their business for maximum tax and legal efficiency, we'd love to assist them with that.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Bernard. I really, really appreciate your time. I just cannot wait to get you back. I'm sure there's so much more we could have talked about. I really appreciate that. Thank you again.
Ola, great to be on with you. And yeah, it'll be great to be back. Enjoyed our discussion. Best to all.